Welcome to Mr. Chalk's Revision Tips. In this video, we will look at hormones, the menstrual cycle and negative feedback. So the menstrual cycle is a recurring process that takes around 28 days. Right, so during this process, the lining of the uterus will prepare itself for pregnancy. If the implantation of a fertilized egg into the uterus lining does not occur, this lining will go and break down, and this is called menstruation. So there are four key hormones that are involved. So FSH causes an egg to start maturing in the ovary. Estrogen is the hormone released by the maturing egg and it stops the pituitary gland from producing FSH, causes it to release LH, and also causes the uterus lining to start building up. Progesterone is the hormone secreted by the ovaries, so it maintains the uterus lining for about 7 days in the build-up to pregnancy, and LH causes the release of the matured egg from the ovary. So if we're thinking about which hormones are produced by the pituitary gland, would be FSH and LH. Which hormones are produced by the ovaries, it would be estrogen and progesterone. Which hormone causes an egg to develop, FSH. Which hormone maintains the uterus lining, it would be progesterone. So if we go and physically look at this process, so it starts off with the pituitary gland releasing FSH. So this FSH moves around the blood and travels to the ovaries. So the FSH causes an egg follicle in the ovaries to start to mature. The developing egg releases estrogen. So the estrogen, because it's a hormone, also travels around in the blood. So estrogen causes the uterus lining to start thickening. However, when estrogen reaches the pituitary gland, it turns off the production of FSH. Right, this is important because you only really want one egg developing at a time. So estrogen turns on the production of LH, which then travels around in the blood to the ovaries. So LH reaches the ovaries and causes the egg to be released from the follicle. The empty egg follicle releases progesterone, so the progesterone travels to the pituitary gland and turns off the production of LH, and it also maintains the uterus lining for 7 days. So when the progesterone runs out, the uterus lining will break down and the woman has a period and the whole cycle starts again. So if we're just looking again at what is a hormone, so remember a hormone is a chemical messenger. It's a substance that's acting on a particular organ. And if we're looking at naming an organ that produces a hormone, it's something like a gland, or you could name a particular endocrine gland. How are hormones transported to their target organs? It's always in the blood. If we're looking at describing how the hormones FSH, estrogen, LH are involved in the control of the menstrual cycle, remember that FSH is stimulating the estrogen production and egg maturation. Estrogen inhibits FSH. Estrogen stimulates LH and builds up the uterus lining, and LH causes the egg to be released from the ovary. High levels of estrogen inhibit the production of FSH by the pituitary gland. So if we're explaining how this is an example of negative feedback, because the reduction of FSH levels will lead to the reduction of estrogen production, therefore estrogen production is negatively affected by these high estrogen levels, and it's the negatively affected part that makes it an example of negative feedback. Thanks for watching.